I call on you, America, make war on Iran and not on Minnesota. Minnesota is not the enemy, and the current escalation of ICE is absolutely unacceptable. Unacceptable because it's a shame of the free world, and you are the leader of the free world. Remember, if you really want to get off all your migrants, that's extremely bad. But we are not discussing about American internal policy here. You can treat your people badly, but not to the extent that it's hurting the free world. And this is too much. And remember, the whole thing about the American civil rights movement was very much in the context of the Cold War. And it was your unacceptable treatment of your minorities in America, which was leading to a big problem globally in the 1960s. And under this pressure, America has finally moved and gave the Civil Rights Act of 1965. And we are now at war again. And America, you are the leader of the free world. If this Stephen Miller wants to have his civil war and wants to kill white people, then he is to be fired. He must be fired, Mr. Trump, because we are in a global confrontation, de facto a war. And this must be won. And it is your duty to liberate the Iranians and not to kill white people in Minnesota. I know you hate this opponent of yours. We are not fools in Europe, but you think we understand he was the candidate for you against as vice president, the governor of Minnesota, and you take revenge. You can do that. It's not our concern, your political feuds and civil war style kind of confrontation, as long as it doesn't matter for the free world. And then it gets to be our concerns very much, Mr. President. And we need you to liberate the Iranians. We need you to provide weapons for Ukraine's liberation. And that's the duty of the leader of the free world. And if you have abdicated recently and you don't know that you are the leader of the free world, then you better resign or let the Democrats run the country and the nation and the free world. This is a choice to make, Mr. President Donald Trump, and you can make it. And you can continue to listen to the Millers, this funny couple with their Greenland things that make you a fool on the world stage. And you can listen to the Millers, and then you get into the history and perception of the free world as a kind of Gestapo-like force you have deployed on one of your own cities, Minneapolis. Obviously, this was a totally unjustified use of force of that so-called policeman called ICE. Everybody has seen the videos. There is no domestic terrorism. This is state terrorism, basically, against the civilians in America. Such a kind of use of absolutely unjustified force. And you lose all the legitimacy we have in the global struggle against Putin, Xi, and of course the Iranian regime, which is to be changed now, and the Iranians to be liberated. And that some extremists on the left and extremists on the right somehow doubt the figures which are coming out of Iran is absolutely unacceptable, Mr. President. You have to act. The forces are ready. Every morning I wake up here in Austria, in Vienna, where the voice of the free world. By the way, subscribe my podcast. I have to make a short commercial break here. Subscribe my podcast, join the NATO Committee for Enlargement, and also support us on Patreon and also on Spotify, Günther Fehlinger podcast, and all the channels. We are actually shooting out of all channels, as your Navy should do. Your Navy should attack and defang the Iranian regime. And you're not doing it. You do this kind of show, moving on, moving the forces, and where's the strike? And can it really be that Bibi Netanyahu has cold feet? I don't think so. It's again this kind of Miller, MAGA people and Witkoffs and all this kind of people probably in the pay of foreign powers who are blocking this decision and with their own kind of petty interests. And then you get misguided into a Greenland-style disaster and a kind of ice-style disaster, which will definitely lead to the complete defeat of the GOP in November and your impeachment process before 2028, and no Republican will ever be close to the presidency after this disaster for decades to come. And remember, such periods we had already in the American history, and it took quite a lot of effort to get back the reasonable small government and conservative issues back in power. And if you want to spoil it for decades to come and get this legacy as completely lost president, then listen to Mr. Miller again. Anyhow, a small rant in the morning. Please follow my podcast and support our project here, The Voice of the Free World from Vienna. And let me assure you, I'm the 3 or 4 decades now, depending how you want to count it. I'm 50, I turned 58 this year, and I'm the biggest pro-American voice in European public. I was with you in Iraq. I was with you in Afghanistan. I called for the liberation of Kosovo and Bosnia and Libya and Syria, and I was consequently always on the American side, as long as America was on the right side of history and was ready to be the liberator and the force of the good, which America